Hello, my name is Richard Lancaster and I'm a member of Greenpeace, and today I've been invited to give a short talk. Hello, my name is Richard Lancaster and I'm a member of the environmental group Greenpeace, and I've been invited to give a short talk today about the rainforests. So I thought first of all I'd explain that there are three types of forest in the world, and they're called tropical, temperate and boreal. And you can see them marked on this map of the world. And the first type, boreal, are right up the north, and boreal forests are generally quite cold, and you can see the sort of things, the sort of animals that live in boreal forests. So in Asia you've got things like the Siberian tiger and caribou, and in North America and Canada you've got things like timber wolves. Temperate forests are the ones marked in green on the map. Now the temperate forests in Europe have things like otters and roe deer, and in North America the temperate forests you're likely to find things like bears. And then the tropical forests are spread around the equator. And in Africa you're likely to find okapi and gorillas, and in South America that's where the Amazon rainforest is, and that's the one we're going to be talking about today. And in the Amazon rainforest you see an amazing variety of different animals and birds. Now why are they called rainforests? Well, they're called a rainforest simply because they receive lots of rain, and they're a forest with lots of many tall trees. And there are two types of rainforests. There are temperate and tropical. So there are temperate rainforests, but the ones we're going to be concentrated on are tropical rainforests, and especially the Amazon rainforest. So the tropical rainforests are located around the equator. That's the sort of the middle band of the earth. And they get between 200 and 1,000 centimetres of rain a year. Now to give you an idea, in Nailsea we get about 70 centimetres of rain a year. So that gives you an idea how much more they get in a rainforest than we do here in Nailsea. We sometimes think it's quite wet in Nailsea. And rainforests are quite warm. They're not baking hot, but they're quite warm. So the temperature is generally between about 21 and 29 degrees Celsius. Now, I think you've already learned this, but can you remember what the 4 layers of a rainforest are called? Did you remember correctly? So the lowest level is the forest floor, or the scrub level. Then under that you get the undercanopy, or sometimes called the understory, and then the canopy, and then right at the top the emergent. And those little pictures of the sun on the left show you how much light each of the layers gets. So at the bottom level you only get about a quarter of the light, the under canopy about half, in the canopy about 3/4 of the light gets through, and right at the top all of the sunlight reaches. Now the rainforests are home to an amazing variety of trees. Some of them are very, very slow growing, but they live for a long, long time. So this one, called the Belian or the Borneo ironwood, can grow for up to 1,000 years. And the ironwood is so dense that it's one of the few woods that when you put it in water it sinks rather than floating. And another tree is the yellow Maranti, and these can grow very tall, up to 90 metres tall. And another one is the kapok or kiba, and this can spread so that the top of the tree can be up to 60 metres across. And these grow quite quickly, 4 metres a year, and sometimes their trunks can grow as big as 3 metres across. So the Amazon rainforest occupies a huge amount of South America. It's the largest tropical rainforest in the world, covers 5 million square kilometres, and it spreads across 9 countries. And this picture, this map, shows you all of the different countries that have a part of the Amazon rainforest in them. But the biggest part lies within Brazil. And right running through the middle of the Amazon rainforest is the Amazon River. And the Amazon River is over 4,000 miles long. And there's some amazing wildlife. And you've already learnt about quite a lot of these things, but here's some pictures. Things like the Amazon River dolphin, the capybara, a giant armadillo, and the South American river turtle. And there's other things like the tapir, jaguar, which is one of the big cats, a giant river otter, and a black caiman. You wouldn't want to get tangled up with one of them. And I think you've learnt about the green anaconda, the huge snake, and then there's sloths that hang upside down from branches, the squirrel monkey, and the toko toucan, which is a large bird with a big yellow beak. And I think you've already learnt about these as well. Yes, that's right, poison dart frogs. But there isn't just one type of poison dart frog. There are dozens of them, look, all different types of poison dart frog. Some of them tiny and some of them quite a bit larger. But they're all amazing colours and, well, they're all poisonous. But it's quite easy to think that the wildlife is the main thing about the Amazon, and of course it is really important, but people live there too. And there are what we call indigenous people who live in the Amazon. The Amazon forest is their home. Now, indigenous is a long word, but it means the people who were originally there and occurring naturally. So they're natives to that part of the country. So they were there from the beginning. Now, what we're going to look at is a piece of film in a moment, because although the rainforest gets a lot of rain, most of the rain falls through the trees and some of it gets captured and some of it falls all the way down to the ground. But there are some animals that never or very rarely go down to the ground. They live in the canopy the whole time. So if they want a drink, they have to be quite imaginative about where they're going to get their water from. And this short BBC film shows you how some monkeys get their drinks and also how some birds get their drinks. So we're just going to now watch this short film.
Perched on branches, bromeliads have no roots in the ground below, so they have to make the most of any water that's going. Their waxy rosettes of leaves channel the rain into a central tank. Some can store as much as 10 litres. Each little green aquarium supports its own web of life. Mosquitoes lay their eggs in them, and the larvae attract predators, like water beetles. The plant benefits from the insect's waste products. They provide nitrogen, hard to come by without roots in the soil. When the rain stops, any moisture soon evaporates in the tropical heat. The treetops can be more like a desert than a forest. If a monkey needs a drink, there's only one place to go. Bromeliads are like waterholes in the desert. These miniature oases are often the only source of water for creatures that never go down to the ground. Exposed to the sun, the forest canopy is a different world, one of unexpected extremes. Birds are quick to take advantage of these swimming pools in the sky. Bathing is more than a mere luxury. It helps to keep their feathers in peak condition. Each visitor seems more colourful than the last, but the Paradise Tanager must be the star of this parade of bathing beauties.
So the Amazon is amazing, but there are problems. And one of the problems is that the Amazon rainforest is being burnt and cut down. And the reason it's being burnt and cut down I'm going to come on to, but this picture shows you what the Amazon should look like at the bottom with all the green trees, and then you can see where it's all been cleared and burnt away. And the trees are going to be cut down for things like this to make toilet rolls and tissues. And some of these trees are 1,000 years old and they're being cut down to make things that will only last a moment. And it's a huge amount of the Amazon that's disappearing very, very quickly. To give you an idea, an area the size of a football pitch is being cut down every minute. And one of the reasons the Amazon's being cut down is to make room for cattle, because people want to eat more and more beef. And especially in the United States of America and places like that, people are keen to have lots of beef. And so the Amazon is now home to more cattle than it is to people. And this picture shows you a cowboy herding the cattle in the Amazon. Now the other thing that the Amazon is being cleared for is to grow 2 different types of crops. And these 2 pictures show you these crops, and I wonder if you know what they are. Actually, it's quite difficult to guess because they don't really look like what you'd expect. But I'll tell you, the top picture is palm oil and the bottom picture is soya. So these are 2 of the crops, the palm oil plant and the soya are 2 of the plants that are widely grown in the areas of the Amazon that have been cut down. Now palm oil occurs in lots of things. In your toothpaste, in your liquid soap. If you like peanut butter, then it's got palm oil in. In fact, palm oil is used in lots and lots of different things that you buy in the shops today. And soya is a very good source of protein, and a lot of people, especially vegetarians and vegans, eat quite a lot of soya. But it's not actually the vegetarians and vegans who are eating all the soya. They do eat more than people who eat meat, but that's not where most of the soya is actually going. Surprisingly, most of the soya that we in Britain buy from the Amazon is used to feed animals. So most of it that we import, that means that we bring in from the Amazon to Britain, is used to feed animals like these chickens. So this is a picture of a barn full of chickens, and they'll all be being fed on soya. So when we eat chicken, what we're doing is we're basically eating chickens that have been fed on soya from the Amazon. The Amazon is really important for all of us. It's important for all the animals and the people who live there, but it's also important for the climate. So we have to stop cutting down the forests before it's too late. And one of the things that the organisation I belong to, Greenpeace, is doing is trying to protect the forests. And this here shows a picture of some people holding out a huge flag saying forest protection now and saying zero deforestation. Deforestation is cutting down the forest, so they say 0 means stop. So we're saying stop cutting down the forests. And you can help because you can look out for things that are safe to buy and which you know don't contain products from the Amazon. So here's some of the badges you can look for. The first badge is the Certified Sustainable Palm Oil, and that's the RSPO badge. And that means that if you see that on something, you know that the palm oil is from a sustainable source. That means it's a safe source, it's not come from the Amazon. And the RTRS symbol shows that it's sustainable soya, so again you know that it's not come from the Amazon. And then the bottom picture shows the Forestry Stewardship Council, that little tree, and the FSC, and again that shows that that paper hasn't been made from wood from the Amazon. So we're now going to look at another short Greenpeace video about the Amazon and the people who live there. Right, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that.